There's a possum in a dumpster.
It's perfect. Welcome in, Howard.
It's the wrong one. Jeez.
Me and Amelia look like a couple guys who've been out there working our ass off in the sun all day. What's going on?
I thought I had it lined up too. All right.
Oh, let's do this, man. Before we get into the Warren Brinson scouting report, let's talk some rookie contracts real quick. And again, we don't have them all yet, but I'm going to throw this up here and see if we can kind of give you guys an idea of how these are shaking out right now. I wish we could get that sidebar off, but there's just nothing I can do. That's how Spot Track's side is. So first round pick was Matthew Golden, right? His contract is not complete yet. Who was our first round pick in 2024? Help me with this, Emilio. 2024, who was our first round pick? Jordan Morgan. Okay, so let's see around where his contract landed at what, 3.2 million? So probably somewhere in that range. And I don't know if wide receivers are a little inflated. I think they're all slotted, not by position, but where they're drafted. Right?
Yeah.
So the fact that he was, I'm trying to think of what pick he was, like 28, maybe. 20.
I want to say Golden could be close to $4 million, maybe.
So there you go. Yeah. So we'll call it $4 million, right? Second round pick, Anthony Belton has not been signed yet. And keep in mind, there's going to be a little bit of an inflation to these contracts as well. So like whatever they were last year, you need to tack on, I don't know, maybe 500,000-600,000, something like that. Probably a good starting point. Yep. But last year, a second round pick was our boy Javon Bullard, right? $1.5 million is his cap hit for 2025. So I'd say that's a pretty safe number. Somewhere around $1.5 to $1.8 million will be Anthony Belton's number, right? Third round pick, I believe he is already under contract. And that's our boy Savion Williams. $1.1 million against the cap this year, man. What if you hit on that? What if you hit on Savion Williams?
That's our wide receiver core to a T right now. What if you hit on any of them? I mean, we've been blessed to have him for the 4 years we have had him, you know?
Yeah. Right. And you look at that wide receiver room, man, it is crowded. That's not, you notice Matthew Golden's not on that list either. I mean, that gets crowded quick. But look at the cap hits. Romeo Doubs is your most expensive wide receiver at $3.5 million this year. Then Christian Watson, 2.9, Jaden Reed, 1.9, Mecole Hardman, 1.4, Savion Williams, 1.1, Dontavion Wicks. Dontavion Wicks is going to be making less money than Savion Williams this year. That is wild to think about. Malik Heath, $1 million flat. Bo Melton, $1 million flat. Julian Fleming is on this list according to Spot Track. Did we ever get any confirmation that he did sign with the Packers? I know we heard it early, but he wasn't at the camp, the rookie mini camp.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's legit or not. If anybody can help us out in the chat with that, we greatly appreciate it. Has anybody heard anything about Julian Fleming? Is he actually on the roster or not? That's the big question for me. But, Malik Heath, though, love him and Bo Melton, restricted free agents, right? If Julian Fleming, right? If Julian Fleming is on the roster, look at the advantage of signing those UDFAs. You've got rights to him for 4 years.
Yep.
So if you hit on one of those dudes, you're off and running, man. Sure. Packernet Podcast in the house says, Savion to Wicks, lower your tone when you're talking to me. Love it. Love it. And I really hope Wicks comes out and balls out this year. Last year was ugly. It was tough to watch. His rookie year, if I remember correctly, he was our highest graded wide receiver. He might have even graded out higher than Christian Watson, if I remember correctly. If not, he was second. So what if Wicks, that was a sophomore slump, and he returns back to his rookie kind of around that grade, and Savion Williams is a hit, and Matthew Golden's a hit? You're going to look up and go, we've got the cheapest wide receiver room in the league. And these are legit targets for Jordan Love. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's exciting.
Right. Because then you're thinking, okay, if we don't sign Rome, Christian, whoever it is, where are they going? Are you getting any trade value out of them? Are you getting any comp picks? It could be the new, backup quarterback room. It could just be our wide receiver room. I mean, you come out with a lot more skill as a wide receiver nowadays. So let's see if they can't, turn it up real fast and make some money. You get in here, you perform for a year or two, and it's like, all right, we don't see you long term. We can go ahead and move you.
Yeah, definitely. B-Time 10 says nothing about Fleming. So it's just fascinating, man. Like it was announced that they signed him. Spot Track usually waits till they have the contract like legit from the league office before they even put the numbers up too. Right. So the fact that they've got him here on a 3-year deal plus a restricted free agency is just I'm assuming he's going to be on the roster. I just don't know why he wasn't at minicamp. And there could have been a multiple reasons for that happening, for sure. But all right, 4th-round pick this year. Help me out here, Emilio. Was that Baron Sorrell? Is that right?
That is correct.
All right, Baron Sorrell, $1 million flat. If you hit on him at edge defender, they got him. They got the defensive line all grouped together here. But if you hit on him and you've got a legit edge rusher for the next 4 years at less than $2 million, my goodness, man, that's the same thing with Colin Oliver down there too at $941,000. I mean, you hit on these draft picks, you're crapping in high cotton, no doubt. Nazir Stackhouse center too, a cool $840K. But look at how many. What if Nazir is a hit, and we got rights to him for 4 years? Yeah. That's what I think about.
Because you take Kenny out of there, it's basically our whole line. Our whole D line is 3% of our cap. If you take Kenny out of there, I mean, with Kenny, we're 10% total for the entire defensive line. That's impressive. Yeah. And they're working the numbers
big time. And I think something will be done with Kenny's $31.3 million cap hit next year. I really do. Like whether they restructure it and bring that number down, and he takes a little more team-friendly deal. I don't know if he will, or they just decide to move on from him. I don't know. The fact that they didn't draft a top 3 round 3 tech to kind of help fill in that void in that nickel 4-2-5. If Kenny does leave, that makes me a little bit more like, okay, they'll probably just restructure. Right. But who knows, man? It may fall into place next year. There may be a big free agent out there next year that they could sign and cut ties with Kenny. That could happen as well. So 5th-round pick, I think we already covered it. That's Colin Oliver, right?
Yep.
6th-round pick was trying to think. Was that Micah?
No, 6th round was the tackle, I believe, wasn't it? Jonah Williams.
Williams, is that what you said?
Yeah, 6 was Warren Brinson.
Warren Brinson, got it. Okay, so Warren Brinson on the defensive line, his number $896,000. Okay, and then of course you've got it's Micah Robinson, I believe, if I remember correctly. Micah Robinson $868,000, and then of course you had John Williams at offensive tackle. I think was a 7th-round pick. He's sitting there at $865K as well. So. That just wanted to give a quick update. Here's how the rookie contracts are laid out. The big takeaway is this wide receiver room, man. That's where it's going to be. This wide receiver room. If you hit on one of these guys, and Tay Wicks takes a step forward, like he did his rookie year, Jaden Reed, I want to say returns to form, but the only thing Jaden Reed was missing last year was targets. If he'd had, Dontavion Wicks got more targets than him. If he had gotten 20 or 30 more targets, Jaden Reed goes over 1,000 yards and nobody's slandering that name. That's just amazing to me. So, Savion too, man. I mean, just golly, I'm excited.
That's the only problem. Like you want Reed to take off. Where the touch is going to go though? If Golden gets out there, Savion gets out there, Tucker's going off again. Josh Jacobs needs his, and then you want to get Marshawn Lloyd involved. You want to get Love on the move. All this stuff is going to take into consideration, but. You look at this year, we're squared away. Our wide receiver room is under 3%, maybe under 5% for sure, maybe under 3-ish. And moving into next year, we at least have a little bit of a base now. If you're looking at it beforehand, it's like, oh, wow, we got a lot of openings coming into this next year. You pick up 2 more wide receivers for another 4 years. You already have a nice buffer. You basically have 4 ready to go.
Right. Eldegrim says, have Golden and Belton signed yet? I don't believe they have, Eldegrim, but there's nothing to worry about there for sure. Like with the new CBA, not saying you do this, but every year fans on Twitter start getting, well, why haven't they signed yet? Well, they're going to sign. They're either going to sign or they're not going to play football.
Don't they normally sign like 7th? They work their way back, 7th, 6th, 5th, their way back up.
That's the way I remember it happening here recently. Yeah. So nothing to worry about there for sure. Someone said Musgrave as well, big time did. If we look at the tight end position real quick, Musgrave 2.3, Tucker Kraft 1.5. What a steal on Tucker Kraft's contract, man. Ben Sims, I love that restricted free agency next year too. So you
got tight end room is under what 2%. It's like, dude, where we got? I feel like we have so much money stashed around. Can we go to the overall? Like none of these guys are breaking most of them are 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. We have a handful of people over a single digit percentage. I mean, look, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people over 5% of the cap. 6.
Right. Yeah. And again, Jordan Love leading the way at $29.6 million. Rashawn Gary, $25.7. Jair Alexander, $24.6. We'll see if he's on the roster. Kenny Clark, $20.3. Xavier McKinney, $17.8. Elton Jenkins, $17.6. Josh Jacobs, $11.3. That's that money right there. Josh Jacobs at $11.3 million. Sign me up, dude. What, golly. Aaron Banks' cap hit. Everybody talking about how that cap, his contract's just over the moon. Cap hit this year only $9 million. Keyshawn Nixon, 6.8. Nate Hobbs, 5.9, right? Another one of your free agent acquisitions this year. And then, of course, you got Lucas Van Ness at 4.7. After that, man, it's just change. It's pocket change, for sure.
And, I love that Jordan's highest percentage of the cap, 10%, is max. You go look at the Cowboys cap, I'm pretty sure CD, Dak, and – was it Micah? I'm pretty sure they all have over like 15% of the cap hit each year, and it's like how are you running a team like that? Mm-hmm. Where is all that money going?
Yep. Harry Cheese says, imagine we can have Savion, Golden, and Watson on the field. Good luck covering and then making the tackle. It's a great point, man. Great point. Put goal. I mean, and that's not even including Reed. Like I'm telling you, Jaden Reed's the best receiver on this team as it sits right now. I think he's better than Christian Watson personally. Now, listen, there's two different types when you talk in terms of deployment. Obviously, Jaden Reed's not that dude that's going to line up there at boundary X and you're going to try to take the top off the defense like you do with Christian. But, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. And the reality is all these guys aren't going to be back, right? They're not. Next year it's going to look much different. Go Pack Go All Day says, what Packers wide receivers are not making the 53-man roster? We kind of talked about that the other night. We go back to, gosh, what was that? Was it multi-year? Probably the easiest way to pull up the here we go. What receivers are not going to make the roster? Just kind of recap that again where we hit that. I think it was last night we talked about or a couple of nights ago. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Nico Hardman, Savion Williams, Dontavion Wicks, Malik Heath, Bo Melton, Julian Fleming, Julian Hicks, Cornelius Johnson, right? You're going to carry 6. Christian Watson's going to start the season on IR, right? So let's say it's Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Savion Williams, Dontavion Wicks, Nico Hardman, Malik Heath. Those would be the 6 I would keep. And you try to stash Bo Melton on the practice squad and call him up when need be, right? Now, they may go away from Nico Hardman and keep Bo Melton. I can understand that too. Me personally, I think I would rather have Nico Hardman over Bo Melton just because you got a little – he's the veteran in the room.
You're right. He did reach out to already drafted players, first thing off. That's cool. I like that. And, coming into a different team, you got to be ready for something like that. You got to be able to kind of step in. And if you're that – not even a leadership role, if you're just that veteran role, lead with leadership. And that's – I love that he is doing that. Just step right into it, no problem.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Greg Rice says Green Bay should throw Jacobs some more money. I think they will, Greg. I don't know if it'll happen before this season, but you guys remember when they signed him, it was basically a 1-year deal. 1 year structured, I think, in a 4-year package, essentially what it looked like. Yeah, so he's got 3 more years left on his deal. I think they will guarantee him some more money, and I think they should. And I think that's important for the culture. I know there are some fans that hear that and go, nope, he signed the contract. He's got to honor it. Okay, you take the guy that's the most unselfish. He's become the team leader on offense, in my opinion. Josh Jacobs is that dude. And you start shortchanging him, watch that roster, watch that locker room look around and go, damn, if they ain't going to pay him, what are these people, what are they even about?
A dude that was there for every game when we were down a quarterback. Just consistency all around. He was trending. If you scroll down a little bit, they had him a number one. They had him on the sidebar there trending. Josh Jacobs, trending players there. Okay, all right. Why is he trending? Don't love that, but okay.
Oh, I know why. I don't like him above Justin Tucker, but I know why. He made some comments on and it wasn't nothing negative, but he was on. What was he on? Was it Bussing with the Boys? It might have been. He was on a recent podcast. So yeah, and it all seemed positive to me.
Gotcha.
He had to say. So that's probably why he was trending. So yeah, but Justin Tucker trending for a different reason. Tough look there. So, Joseph, that's perfectly said. I was shocked at how quickly Jacobs made me not miss Aaron Jones. Very well said. Very well said there. All right, Emilio, you want to break down a little Warren Brinson real quick, man?
Let's do it.
All right. So Warren Brinson, obviously, defensive tackle. Was he out of Georgia, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
And taken in the what was it, 198th overall pick, I believe it was, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
so we got a little write up here. You can find us on the Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access or scan the QR code in the upper right. We're going to be doing another giveaway here real soon. We got a couple jerseys lined up. We're going to be giving away a Dontavion Wicks jersey here real soon. I know that's in the hopper. We got a Dorsey Levens jersey. We got a Lynn Dickey jersey as well, a little throwback to the 80s. So if you're a member here in the Patreon group, that'll get you entered into the giveaways where we will put everybody's name on a wheel, spin that sucker live on the show and give it away. Probably in another week, we'll do one of those giveaways. But Appreciate everybody joining in there. You get access
is
to
that the one just to Patreon, right?
Just the Patreon. That's right. We're done doing the giveaways for the YouTube memberships because we want everybody to kind of trickle into Patreon. It's basically the same as a membership in terms of the cost, but you get a lot more value in Patreon, and it's just a little bit easier for us to kind of organize everything as well. So you get access to all the chats in there. During draft season, we give you access to our draft board in real time. Emilio is updating it pretty much every day. Get all these write-ups, all the chalk talks. Like when we do the Baron Sorrell chalk talk, which will probably be tomorrow, I would imagine, we'll immediately take that clip, edit it out from the show, upload it onto his page on our Patreon group, and you got that right there at your disposal. So everything.
Yeah. Just a perfect little history thing too, man. I can't wait to dive in. We're in the middle of the season. It's like, what were we talking about for Brinson back there? Let's see what he looks like.
Bingo. That's the big thing with it too. We're gonna do some history segments here real soon as well.
Nice, like we used to.
We'll do like a deep dive on Curly Lambeau, George Calhoun, the kind of the founders of the Packers. Maybe take you back through some historical moments in Packers history. We'll have write-ups on that stuff as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. But again, this is just going to be your PTA hub, right? This is where you go to get all your information on the Packers for 2025 from our perspective here at Packers Total Access. So here we go. Green Bay Packers draft spotlight. Warren Brinson, a stout defensive lineman with run, stop, and prowess. Green Bay Packers reinforced their defensive line in the 2025 NFL Draft, selecting Georgia defensive lineman Warren Brinson with the 198th overall pick in the 6th round. Following earlier picks to bolster Jeff Hafley's 4-3 scheme, the Packers targeted Brinson to replace the run-stopping presence lost with T.J. Slaton's departure to free agency. At 6'5", 315 pounds, the Savannah, Georgia native offers a massive frame, relentless effort, and SEC-tested versatility, making him a potential steal as a rotational lineman with starter upside for Green Bay. Here he was in high school. Look how much bigger this guy is from everybody else. I always love seeing these pictures, dude.
It's like he was like, I already went to college and just came back for my senior year. Like,
right. So here's the scouting report coming out of high school. A Savannah, Georgia native, Warren Brinson was a 4-star recruit in the 2020 class, ranked as the 283rd overall prospect by the On3 industry rating with a grade of 90.30 at IMG Academy at Bradenton, Florida. I did double check that. So he was born in Savannah, if I remember correctly, and then he went to high school in Bradenton, Florida. All right, 6'4", 290-pound defensive tackle, dominated with power and agility. His senior tape showcased a devastating bull rush, quick hands, and the ability to clog run lanes, earning him All-American honors. Brinson drew offers from Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, and Oklahoma, but committed to Georgia, where he became a key contributor to 2 national championship defense. This guy got 2 natties under his belt, man.
He went to the right team.
Exactly. Here's the PFF grades. Starting in 2020, 44.5. Me no like you that, Jan. 2021, he jumps to a 67.7. 2022 jumps all the way to a 72.3. Peaked in 2023 with a 79.1. Fell back a touch in 2024, but still a solid grade with a 73.9. Obviously, run defense grades what sticks out of the 75.5 with a pass rush grade of 65.1. All right, college statistics. Brinson's 5-year career at Georgia featured consistent production in a stacked defensive line rotation. As a true freshman in 2020, he played in 7 games, recording 3 tackles. 21, he appeared in 12 games during Georgia's national title run, tallying 9 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 sack. His 2022 season included 15 games, 12 tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack, and 14 pressures. 23, despite missing 2 games due to injury, started at 4 of 13 games, posting 21 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks. And then his 2024 campaign was his best, starting 8 of the 12 games with 26 tackles, 6 for a loss, and 2 sacks, including 2.5 tackles for a loss and a sack in the SEC championship win over Texas. This is kind of like that Matthew Golden had his best game in the SEC championship. Although they lost, still it's pretty cool to see that. You still
Produce
got
under the lights. That's
bingo.
big.
Career tackles ended up being 71 tackles, 14 for a loss, 6 sacks, 1 pass breakup, and 36 pressures across 59 games with 8 starts. So Warren Brinson's RAS score here, Emilio, 9.10, measured in at 6'5", 315, 27 bench reps. That's pretty stout. Look at that explosion grade, man. Vertical jump of 31 inches with a broad of 907. Had a 40-yard dash of 509. So when you look at the RAS card, what sticks out to you is he's got that pedigree, that size that you're looking for a run-stopping defensive tackle, a one tech to kind of help fill in for the departure of TJ Slayton. That explosion grade's great, man. Really is. So,
yeah,
what do you think about
explosive at that size, at 315, being able to be that explosive, while having physical strength at 27 reps. I mean, he almost hit Green there on the bench, and even his 40 time of a 5.08. That's fast. I mean, you're moving there. If he had gotten half a second there, 5.05, 5.02, something like that, he's probably over in the green. He's probably at 9 something for the run there. He's hustling, man. I'm excited to really see him. We can break down the tape there, but dude can move.
Yeah. Detailed scouting report entering the draft. We just kind of talked about the combine already, so we'll just kind of go through this. Brinson shines as a run defender with a 315-pound frame, leverage suiting him for nose tackle or 3 technique roles in Green Bay's 4-3 scheme. His versatility across alignments, nose, 4-eye tech, and defensive end. That's really impressive. Play some 4-eye and nose. It adds value. However, his pass rush arsenal is raw, relying on power over finesse. What does Greg Cosell say, though? You've got to be able to rush. Got to be able to rush with power in the NFL. If you don't, you can be all flashy with all the spin moves, and it's kind of like, I want to say it was as a Raku that they said, one scout said he's got too many pass rush moves. He needs to refine just 2 or 3. Like he's trying to do too much. Right. And I think the knock on Ezeraku was he could not rush with power. So that's one of those things where it's like that's kind of tough, right? Says analysts like Dane Brugler praises explosive moments when penetrating gaps, but he needs to refine hand usage to consistently beat NFL linemen. Lance Zierlein highlights his ability to get skinny and swim and rip into gaps, fitting one gapping defense. His Senior Bowl and combine performance is impressed with fluid movement and physicality for his size. Injury and character concerns. Brinson suffered an Achilles injury in Georgia's 2024 season opener, missing 2 games after 1 snap. He returned for the final 12 games, showing no lingering issues. A 2020 ankle sprain briefly limited practice, but no games. He was fully cleared at the combine, but no medical flags. Off the field, Brinson is a high-character leader, serving as a 2024 team captain and earning praise for mentoring teammates. His Savannah roots and perseverance staying with Georgia's demanding program, where only 5 of 14 in his class remained, fit Green Bay's gritty culture. So another dude has got that kind of, what do you call it, that loyalty, right?
Yes.
Kind of sticking with what you said you were going to do. I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, so obviously he was drafted number 198 overall. Brinson was a steal with Lance Zierlein assigning a 5th-round grade and Dane Brugler projecting a 6th. His slide likely stemmed from modest sack numbers and a deep defensive line class. Acme Packing Company lauded his potential as a TJ Slayton successor, emphasizing his nose tackle frame, while GM Brian Gutekunst praised his interior disruption and alignment versatility. Brinson's athletic comps to Daron Payne suggest 3-down potential with pass rush growth. As a 5th Georgia defender drafted by Gutekunst since 2021. That's wild. He reflects Green Bay's faith in the Bulldogs pipeline. Here's what our boy Dane Brugler had to say. A part-time starter at Georgia, Brinson played across the defensive line and head coach Kirby Smart's hybrid fronts, lining up at the 4-eye technique, sliding down to the nose in bear looks, and aligning everywhere in between. His defensive snap count increased each of his 5 seasons in Athens, and he put steady play on tape, despite a stat sheet that won't draw the eye. Brinson is fairly stout against the run and works to keep his arms locked out to find the ball and create stuffs. He has explosive moments when he is given the freedom to pursue the pocket. So that kind of shows you when he's in that one tech playing nose, maybe not so much rushing the quarterback. That's probably why the numbers weren't as inflated, right?
Which is what we ask our defense to do all the time. Punch out, read, react, and at least you're clogging up a lane or two.
Definitely. Overall, Brinson flashes NFL-level play with his ability to get off blocks and force his way through gaps, but excitement over his talent needs to be tempered by his sporadic impact. He offers intriguing tools in an NFL-ready body. Again, Dane Brugler had a 6th-round grade. Here are the strengths. Looks like an NFL player with his height, build, and length. Athletic for his size, including flexibility in his knees and ankles. Plays with battle-ready hands. Uses various swap rip moves to clear path to the pocket. Flashes a decent bull rush when he stays low into contact. Shows off body control on twists and games. We love to run those games up front. There's no doubt about that. Pays attention to gap responsibilities through lateral engagements. His ability to quickly redirect in pursuit helps him get hands on the ball carrier. Self-described, quote, biggest personality on Georgia's roster and hosts several podcasts. We got to check out that pod.
Yeah, what is it? Beyond the Hedges?
I believe it is. Yeah, Beyond the Hedges is what it's called. That's right. All right, here's his background. We'll hit this real quick since we got a couple minutes. I want to get everybody's take in the chat and get your take on him overall, Emilio. Warren Brinson, who has 2 younger sisters, Taylor and Caroline, was born and raised in Savannah, Georgia with his mother, Monique. He started organized sports at the age of 4. Jeez, Pete, 4 years old, organized sports, and often spent time at Harbersham YMCA throughout his childhood. Brinson gravitated towards football starting at the Pee Wee level and continued playing in youth leagues. Since leaving for college, he has returned to Savannah multiple times to help run free youth football camps, including his own defensive line clinic. Brinson is also a hunter, fisherman, and amateur pilot. Flew his first plane in July of 2024. You think he ain't going to fit in Green Bay with that outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman? Him and Quay Walker are going to be out there on a boat in the bay. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah. They're going to take the pond hopper with the pontoons on it, take the plane over there. As long as they don't get the finger in the propeller, Clay, we'll be in good shape.
Emilio, people don't know about the finger in the propeller comment.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's probably best that they don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. In 6th grade, he enrolled at Savannah Christian Preparatory School and spent 5 years there. After earning a spot on varsity as a freshman, he collected all-region honors with 41 tackles, 2.5 sacks as a sophomore defensive lineman, helping the team to a 6-5 record and a playoff appearance. After his sophomore season, football powerhouse IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, reached out with interest. Brinson didn't take it seriously because of the cost of attending. In the summer of 2018, however, his mother applied for multiple scholarships and surprised him with the opportunity to attend IMG Academy for his final 2 high school years. So he could not afford to go to IMG, and his mom helped pull some strings and get him some scholarships so he could attend a higher end high school. Absolutely awesome. And so just much like Matthew Golden and these guys and Baron Sorrell, they got kind of a humble upbringing. Really cool. He was teammates with several future NFL draft picks, including safety DJ Turner, edge rusher Nolan Smith. As a junior in 2018, Brinson posted 27 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks. As a senior, he helped the team to a 9-1 record with 30 tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. Brinson joined the track team in the spring of his sophomore year and had personal bests of 38 feet 10 inches in the shot put and 86. And 86 and 2 in the discus. Got it. A 4-star recruit, Brinson was the 30th ranked defensive tackle in the 2020 recruiting class with number 51 recruit in Florida. He had a strong performance at a summer Georgia camp in 2018. And within a few days of enrolling at IMG, received a scholarship offer from head coach Kirby Smart. Brinson officially committed to the Bulldogs toward the end of his junior season, but changed his mind a few months later and reopened his recruitment. He entertained offers from Bama, Auburn, Clemson, Florida, Miami, South Carolina, and others before recommitting to Georgia in July of 2019. Brinson was the 18th ranked recruit in Kirby Smart's 2020 class, which also included Jalen Carter, Broderick Jones, Tate Ratledge, Lab McConkey, and Carson Beck. He took advantage of the extra year of eligibility granted by the NCAA because of COVID pandemic and returned to Athens for his 5th season. Brinson accepted an invitation to the East-West Shrine Bowl. So just a little background on Warren Brinson. What do you think so far, Emilio, as we're getting ready to wrap up this article, man?
I mean, genuine guy. He cares about the family, wants to be close to home. Happy that he got to play for Georgia, and the fact that hey, I knew a couple of people that went to IMG, for lacrosse and stuff, but it's that you're prime talent. You got to go down there, especially for football. I mean, the fact that you show up, you play with those guys, and then you get a scholarship. It's like, all right, it's like the Senior Bowl for high schoolers. You get up there, you're playing at like almost JUCO level talent still in high school, and then you go ahead and get out there, and you're already getting your name out there. It's like a pipeline and everything. I like that he's committed.
Yeah, like what Greg Rice says here: 315 pounds with the ability to get skinny, swim, and rip. It's hard to get skinny when you're 315 pounds, right, Greg? Pretty impressive, though. Deployment possibilities. I just let the AI kind of say, hey, in terms of deployment with Jeff Hafley, what do you got here? It says Green Bay Packers will deploy Warren Brinson as a rotational defensive lineman, leveraging his run-stopping ability and versatility in Jeff Hafley's 4-3 scheme with a path to a larger role. Here's how they might use him. As his primary role, rotational nose tackle / defensive tackle. Why it fits. Brinson's 6'5", 315-pound frame, 910 RAS, and run stuff and ability make him ideal for nose tackle or 3 technique duty. So think Kenny Clark, right?
Yep.
How do they utilize Kenny Clark as opposed to Devontae Wyatt? I think what you're hoping will happen here is Warren Brinson can step up to the plate and become that number 2 Kenny Clark, essentially. That's what it's kind of feeling like. So,
and I think it's a possibility. I mean, he's got just as good a shot as Nazir does, though Brinson was drafted. I think that either of them have a real good shot. You look at Devontae Wyatt getting that 5th-year option, there's an opening coming up. Kenny at $31 million is not going to happen. So that they need to know if they perform, they can have a spot.
And as Joseph points out here in the chat, Wooden better be working his ass off if he wants any snaps. It's true. To me, Wooden's been the letdown. I think Carl Brooks has kind of held his own. And, Carl Brooks lined up in a one tech way more often than people realize as well. So right now it kind of feels like maybe he's the guy behind Kenny to play that one tech and that nose, at certain times. However, Warren Brinson rises to the occasion. Guess what? Now you can have Carl Brooks step in behind Devontae Wyatt as that backup 3 tech, right? That could happen. So really, really excited to see how that all kind of takes shape for sure. As Daryl says, man, Brinson has that O-line size. Man, he's a big old boy. There's no doubt about it. Probably got decent reach as well. Eldergrim, I think Nazir takes Wooden's roster spot. It could happen. Yeah. And with Wooden, what could happen with Wooden is you try to stash him on the practice squad, right? That could be the case. So, all right, Emilio, anything else? Secondary role, just a situational pass rusher there on the inside, 6 sacks, 36 pressures, and 31st ranked pass rush win rate among draft-eligible defensive tackles. Didn't realize that. If that number's correct, they're pulled by AI. That's impressive.
And the fact, to think about it, we got them in, the 6th round? Their 5th round. The fact that we were able to pull, this kind of talent out of that. I mean, from Georgia, Goody's like, how are you telling me that, my favorite school dropped some of, their best players just sort of slipped through the cracks, and I was able to pick them up in the late rounds? It's like a late round tackle gem that Goody always finds. I'm hoping that we can get a couple late round, D-line gems.
Yeah. Yeah, so it says Brinson 6 sacks, 36 pressures, and 31st ranked pass rush win rate among draft-eligible defensive tackles per PFF indicate pass rush potential. His quickness and ability to get skinny in gaps per Zerline suit situational rushing. The Packers needing depth behind Clark will develop Brinson's hand usage and rush plan to maximize his pocket pushing ability, leveraging his experience at defensive end in Georgia's 3rd down packages. How he'll be used, obviously, we kind of covered all that.
Scary that Georgia put him outside on the edge, 3rd down packages. That's unbelievable.
They literally said, here, we want you to play nose. All right, now you jump the 4-eye. If you guys are winning, that's the inside shoulder of the tackle, right? And then, you know what? Go to a 5 tech. Get out there on the
Yeah,
outside.
it'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
Really, really valuable. Anything else on Brinson at all, Emilio?
No, man, exciting. Seriously, I mean, the fact that we've been able to find these guys we're lucky.
Yeah, I agree with what Joseph says here too. Brinson and Stackhouse is ridiculous value. It really is. Really, I love the way that draft shaped out. The one that had a scratch in her head was Belton, right?
Yep.
But again, if you guys watched our live draft party live from Green Bay, it took me just 10 seconds to go, Goody's got a second-round grade on this cat. And then we find out later that he actually had a second-round grade on Savion Williams. And they said that they thought about taking him at 54, where they went Anthony Belton because they probably noticed the run on tackles, and then came back in the third round. Savion's still sitting there. And Goody was talking about, I didn't plan on taking 2 receivers, but the value was just too good. So Savion was sitting there in the third round with a second-round grade. That's wild to think about. So,
man, and I'm so happy we went into the Hall of Fame there, because being able to look at his old board and just get some ideas. Not that ours is ever going to look like that, but just like, your 6'2", 6'7", 6'8", your 7s, where are we at vertical wise, height wise, decimal, all the little nuggets that it had.
Yeah, and it was confirmed. I did look into the fine print and everything. That board we seen wasn't necessarily Goody's board. It was kind of using the media information of how Goody's board would have kind of shaken out.
Got it.
And the fact that they took, they had 3 of our draft picks with first-round grades probably was pretty close to it.
Yep.
I was going to run this by you, Amelia. I think it'd be a good idea for next year's draft. What if we tried to come up with a conversion tool to where we take the grades on our board,
okay,
and that will determine we can give an NFL grade on it. Like you've seen how an 8.0 is a perfect prospect, right? And then it goes, 7.9, 7.8, 7.7. What it would take some time to do that, but man, that would be fun.
We could, because we had the final number. I think honestly it would be kind of picking our scale and then figuring out, all right, any negative prospect got to be a 7.5 and up probably. If you're negative 15, then all right, yeah, we'll give you an 8, and then we can kind of go from there. I think it's going to be fine tuning those numbers, but definitely a possibility.
Definitely. United Bates with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. For those who haven't seen and may be waiting to plan a trip, full schedule release Wednesday, May 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Airbnbs go quick sometimes. That's right. I'm excited about that because we'll be live when that schedule drops. Well, yep. I mean, we go live right when that thing releases, and there'll probably be some leaks throughout the day. So, I'm with you, Bates. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's no close games, right? So I'm probably not going to any this year. I know you might be going up to Lambeau and stuff. There's no close ones for us, but I am extremely excited about it.
Who are the away teams? Do we know? Does anybody come to mind right off the bat?
I want to say it was the hold on.
I got it right here. Let me see here. 2025 opponents. Let's see if it shows away or here we go. I got it right here, Emilio. So the away games are Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago, of course, Dallas, New York, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Denver, and Arizona. You're right. There's nothing.
Be the Browns, if anything. And honestly, I'd rather go to like a Cowboys game just because my dad's a Cowboys fan. But then then we're going to Dallas. So
I wouldn't mind to go to Pittsburgh either. I think that'd be a fun venue.
You can take 2 trips up there in a year, going to the draft and the game.
I'm fighting like hell, man. I ain't gonna let Mandy talk me into that. I want to be right here at HQ this year. It's way easier to operate.
Maybe I can feel up there. We can do the draft up there again or something.
Yeah, that was a blast. We need to do that. Just got to make sure you don't get your fingers stuck in the propeller. Thank you for the super chat, Bates. Appreciate you, buddy. Jerry says your chalk talk on Savion got me very excited to see him in the G&G. Amen. That was one of the easiest chalk talks to do.
Mm-hmm.
We were just like a couple fanboys in there going, man, look at this dude. He's phenomenal. And he lined up everywhere.
He was like Pablo Sanchez in backyard sports, right? You're always picking him because he can pitch, he can catch, he can throw the ball, he can shoot hoops. You put him anywhere on the field, he's going to play.
Yep. I'm really excited to see what Matt LaFleur can do with him. We got IROC in the house. He says, yo, I got my Oladapo card. Thanks again, fellas. Go Pack, go. Glad you got it. I'm getting texts all day of people saying, hey, I got my jersey. I got this. So it's really cool to be able to give back to those of you who are supporting the show. And the best way to support the show crank.
It is crank.
65%.
65%. That's what.
It really hits.
Yeah. That might be worth the copyright if we get
Yeah, we might get hit with that. That's on me. But we slid in the 65. They didn't know. They have no idea. AI is never going to pull that.
There you go. There you go. So, again, the best way to support the show is our Patreon group. Scan the QR code in the upper right. It's a really, really cool community that's coming together. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm blown away at the support and how many people's joined. And that's what's kind of lit a fire under me to put more content out on there, because I want to make sure you guys, again, $3. That's our minimum tier. That gets you access to everything. You'll see a $5 and a $10 tier. That's just if someone wants to give extra, that's cool. And we got several people that are doing that. But just, again, I'm blown away at how many people are supporting the channel. And please don't think we take it lightly. We definitely don't take it lightly.
And the way I was thinking about it, Clay, one trip to Chick-fil-A, right, under $40, you're done. But on top of that, you pay for it now. You're getting all of this year's season. You're going to get all the draft prep for next year and the draft board. And if you hate it by next year, done. I mean, but you still get access to the draft board all the way through. I mean, this would be the time to do it, honestly.
Absolutely.
And it's like you're in the YouTube chat all the time. Like, you want to go talk to anyone in there, you go ahead and just message them. You can go to the general chat, any of that.
Yep. And you got a direct line to DM me in there as well.
Me as well. Tim is in there. I think Jacob finally figured it out on his flip phone. We're good.
On his Razor, his Motorola Razor. I want to give a shout out to the newest Patreon members. QU_21 went ahead and did the yearly, just paid it up for the year. You can do that and get a little bit of a discount. That's something that Patreon offers. That's really cool. If you just feel comfortable just doing it month to month, that's cool too. So Q21 went ahead and did the year. Randy in there in a $3 tier. We got Bill Brasky, who did the same thing, doing the entire year. Appreciate you, buddy. We got David Salento, who's a member of the 450, I believe it is, or the $5 tier, whatever it is. Just wanted to give a little extra. Thank you so much for that. Tyler McCarty went ahead and paid up for the year. You are the man. Holmes MD1 said, give me that $10 tier. I know I don't get anything extra, but he's just supporting the show. Appreciate you. Ryan Jennings on the $4. I don't know if it's 450 or if I think it's 450. $4.50 tier. Johnny B went ahead and got it for the year. And Darren Johns, a member of the $3 tier. So everybody, welcome them to the Patreon group. We appreciate all you guys and gals in there. So anything else you got, Emilio, before we get out of here, man?
No, I think that's it. Just another great day to be a Packers fan. I'm glad we got to dive into some of that and just being able to see them as they grow up, see how they act, see how they carry themselves. That's why you think about when Packers take their players, like, how are you going to – we know we've been talking about going through adversity, but how you carry yourself, head high, are you about football? Because we got time up here in Green Bay, and it's time for football season. And I think, honestly, getting drafted to a contending team like us, you kind of get excited, like, hey, I could make a name for myself in the most historic franchise, there is. Yeah,
definitely. Jerry says, appreciate the show, guys. Thanks. Thank you, Jerry. You're awesome. Everybody in the chat, y'all make this show what it is. Love talking ball with y'all every single day. And again, we'll go get that article fixed real quick with the correct draft classes. Look like it got a little wonky on some of the NFC North draft classes, so we'll get that straightened out. But really, really appreciate everybody except for Affam. All right, just joking, Affam. We appreciate you too, you knucklehead. But all right, that's it. We're out of here, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central for PTA Live. We'll definitely do the Barons Sorrell Chalk Talk tomorrow. Nice. I'm going to try to throw another report together on one of the rookies here, which I guess after Warren Brinson, who would it be? We just talked about it earlier.
Warren Brinson, it would be Micah.
Would be Micah? Okay.
I believe, right?
Micah Robinson. Whoever's next. You guys should see that pop up maybe as early as the morning. Yeah. And that's going to be a fun one, man. Graded out really, really nice at Tulane. So
maybe we'll find some Fordham film. Some Fordham film on him? I don't know.
Well, maybe. All right. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much. Hit that like button on the way out. Check out the Patreon group. We appreciate y'all more than you know. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. Go Pack, go.
And we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.